Hello, everybody, again. Thanks for coming back for more. Today, I have planned uh, creating a wheel, one of those wheels with the what's the name of those things? Uh, it is the wheel drive in the amusing parks. So we're gonna create a wheel ride with your stack. And fortunately, we're gonna get there and you're gonna be able to put yourself in the center. I don't know if you have visited my page, but I have that. It looks weird here in this particular viewport, but I think it looks better like that, and looks better like that. So basically, it is a wheel ride with your stack. I think this should be. I'm adjusting this. This should be over the circle. I think I can do it right here, like just by doing a C index, and now it is over. And I think that's the way it should be. Or what do you think? Leave it on the comments. Does it look weird that it covers me? Well, we're gonna try to emulate this. Not emulate. It's been a while since my last oh, wait. I have the illness with the C 2019. So we're going to use modules. Why do we use modules? That's because I wanted to introduce Sass. Sass is it's like it's a preprocessor of CSS that adds a lot of things to your CSS that should already be there. Like, I don't know if now CSS supports nesting. CSS nesting. Apparently now it supports nesting. But if you go to can I use and then go to nesting, CSS nesting is not supported by a lot of navigators, browsers. Navigators, that's not the word. So it's not allowed for a lot of browsers, so we assume that the nesting for CSS native is not yet. Also, you are gonna need to know less or Sass, which is basically the same thing, to create mixins, which are basically functions. You can do variables, you can do loops. It is a very good thing to learn. The C, in this case, I already have it installed, but it is installed with this command right here, npm install -d sass embedded. Such embedded. Okay. So let's try to do a wheel. This is going to be a little complex, and you're gonna see why in a minute. So, in order to accomplish this, also we are going to use modules, CSS modules. You're going to learn how to use the CSS modules. Why are we using CSS modules? Well, so you can have class names that don't never what's the word, never, I'm not very articulated today. Don't crash, don't mismatch. Like you have two classes, two divs with the same class name circle, and then you have a problem. So what this does is basically assigns a random class, but it will contain what you have here. So, well, let's start. I think using AI, it's gonna be kind of using AI will probably be cheating. So let's not use AI. Not none. I don't want predictions. Autocomplete. I don't want anything. Let's try to do it the old way. Okay. So I'm gonna do it here in the app because you're gonna realize very soon that this is gonna get complex, really complex. So for the first thing you need is a container class. No, when you use modules, you assign them like this: class name, styles container. Okay, and then you import your styles from your model. You're in the same folder, so just /model. Yeah. So we have styles in styles.container, and we're going to create a container class. And now look at this. You're going to see the container. Well, right now it doesn't even have a class name. Is it because it's empty? It doesn't have a class name right now. It's probably because it doesn't have anything inside. Background color, let's give it whatever. Not whatever, because this thing is going to complain. So let's do a background black. And there you go. You have the name of the class and some random characters, so you can have 100 containers in the same view, and thanks to the moduling, you're gonna have class like this, so you never run into problems with that. It also kind of repairs your logic of your CSS, kind of cleans it up and performs better under the hood. But yeah, I recommend you to use Sass or less. It's basically the same. And today that's why I decided to use Sass instead of plain CSS. Also, I'm using TypeScript right now. We're gonna be using TypeScript now, because TypeScript is the language that you have to learn if you want to have a future in this career. Okay, in web development you need TypeScript. Also, fun fact for all of the people who don't like JavaScript because it's too let's say it allows you to do too many things that you shouldn't be able to do. Microsoft, creator of C Sharp, is the same creator of TypeScript. So there you have it. If you are hesitant about TypeScript or web, Microsoft is getting things in order in that part of the internet. So TypeScript created by the same guy who created C Sharp. I'm gonna grab some coffee and let's start. That's a very good fact over here, because a lot of people don't trust JavaScript, but they will trust something that the C Sharp creator created. So we need a container. Why do we need a container? Because inside the container we are going to inside the container we're going to declare the real container, which is going to be the circle. And fun things or not so fun things happen when you declare things and then use transform, which is what we are going to be using for changing the way the things look. So just follow me along, and this is going to be a container that has width of, well, first of all, it's going to be display flex. I wanted to justify, I think if I wanted to justify content center and align items center, I know that this has to be in the element that needs to be centered, but I want this to be centered as well. So then we need to assign the width. The width is going to be the whole screen. By the way, this is the measurement for viewport width. There are a lot of ways to present sizes in CSS and in web in general. You can use pixels, you can use viewports, you can use the size of the font as reference using rem. You can use m. I don't remember exactly what's the difference between m and rem, but I'm pretty sure that is something along the lines of font. I don't know. Today we're gonna use percentage. And the height, I want it to be 100% as well. Well, I'm not sure about that yet, but let's do this. So we have a container. Then we want a circle. We want a circle, and then we want another circle that is going to be the axis. The things are going to be rotating around that circle. So the first circle is going to be called circle, of course. Class name, styles, circle. div. Okay, so now the circle is going to be circle, and the circle is going to have it's going to, first of all, it's going to be displayed as relative, and this is gonna make sense in a moment, okay? Because we're gonna have inside circle things positioned as absolute, so we need relativeness to inside the relativeness. The absolute moves inside the relativeness. So I need this in order to keep some, let's say, order on my wheel. So this is going to be the height is going to be, I think, the same. This has to be the same, but in both ways, because it's a square just with the borders. Box radius. No, border radius is it border radius? Weird. Okay, so if we do this, and then we do a background, and then we do this, we have here our beautiful circle. It is a little bit aggressive to have it as black, completely black. So what if we have it like that? Okay. Yes. And this circle is going to have inside, by the way, this is what I meant with nesting. This is what I meant with nesting. The circle has to be inside the container. The circle has to be inside the container. So that makes CSS a little bit more organized and clean. And we're going to need another circle, but this circle is going to be only for reference. Circle, center, circle. It's been a while since I've done this, so don't expect me to know exactly what to do at every moment, but I remember that this has to be centered. This has to be centered, okay? So in order to center it, we first of all, we have to say that the display is going to be absolute, not display, the position. This is wrong. It's position. Why nobody told me? It's position relative and position absolute. You know how, did you notice how the compiler never told me that this display is wrong? Is it allowed? So display can be relative. Interesting. What's the difference? Display. Display is relative. What else do we have here? Flex. All of these things, but relative is not here. No, it is an error, and it didn't not even told me, but okay. I'm digressing. Okay, so now we have the absolute, and we want our circles. We want our center circle. So first of all, let's make sure that the C index is 2. so it's over this. We need some of this. Then it is with let's say that it has a width of 20 pixels and a height of 20 pixels. Okay. And then a background so we can see it. A background of red. Center circle. Why don't we see it? Because we don't have it on the component. So div class name. If I had turned on the autocomplete, this will be super quick. What center, right? Yeah, center. Position, center, background, 20. So we don't see it. We don't see it because let's make sure this one is inside here. And this one, the center is here. We don't see it because it's probably needing another one of this, or probably another one, or probably just it is out of sight. Let's see what it is. Elements, container, circle, center circle. Okay, yeah, and I call this circle. Actually, you should never use this as a name in you can use it, but in this case it is complaining, so we can either go with just like that or camel case. Center circle. Center circle, and then we have the center circle right there. Let's take advantage of this. So I want it to be left 50% and top 50%. Okay. And then it looks like it is aligned. Oh yeah, genius, you didn't record that, you didn't save that. Left 50%, right 50%. Actually, this is what backend developers hate about frontend. Did you know that? The CSS part, they hate it. They super hate it. So we're doing what they hate the most. And I actually like it. I like seeing figures on my screen and giving them positions and such. So we have now the center circle, and we are lying because we're saying it is a center circle. In order to make it a circle, we need a border radius of 50%. So yeah, now it is a circle. I don't see it very centered. I think it's because we need to remove 20, not remove what's the word, minus 20 subtract calc minus 20 pixels. See, Calc is, I think calc is native now. Calc. Yeah, it is native. It is not from SAS. It's not from SAS. Or is it? Okay, can I use calc? Okay, so some browsers are still behind on that, but it looks pretty usable. Well, now we have the center. We need a calc here as well, because it also has 20 pixels left. And now we have an error, and the error is are not compatible units. Yeah, because you need a C here, dude. Either way, it still looks a little bit I don't know, like, is it in the middle, that, guys? Let's see, just for the giggles. Is this in the middle? What can I do to make sure it is in the middle? It will be too much work to verify that it is in the middle. Okay, so here is where everything becomes super complex. Not super complex, but we are using this as the axis. So this is going to be our point of reference, okay? Right now it is there, but you know what I'm realizing? We don't need the center circle. We don't need the circle. No, wait. We need the circle. Okay? We need the circle, and we need the items. The items, we're gonna do some magic with a map. But the circle, I think let me see. I think we need the center circle needs to be transformed and translated y minus 50. Let's see, what do we have with that? Because this is going to be our point of reference for the other elements. So this needs to be translate x minus 50%. So that's probably why I don't see it in the middle. What if I do something like this? Okay. So now we are going to create the items. Okay, we are going back with this because I remember there's some logic behind doing the transform like this. It's not just it is not trivial. So now let's create the items, and the items are a class, of course, and the items for now are going to be because this is going to be your stack of your stack of technologies that you are expert on and such. So we define them as this is the most important thing. So it is display, not display, position absolute. Then we need to make sure that they are in the center. Left 50% and right 50%. Okay. There needs to be in the center at first. Let's see what happens when we do that. The class name, styles, items. It's items or items. So background blue for now, and see then it should be showing well, of course they are not going to be shown if we don't have a width and a height for them. Width, this is actually the width of your item for the animation of your stack. So this is going to be a logo of JavaScript or something. So I don't know why I wrote that a J there. Let's see, 20 pixels and height 20. Why did I say 20? 50. Okay, so now we have it. We need it as centered as possible. Okay, we need it as centered as possible. So now we need to do a translate, and you're gonna know why in a minute. We need a translate transform translate, and it's going to be to 50% less, and I think this is X, and you can do both here. You can do Y as well. Now, so I think the items don't need this, they just need to be here. What needs to be done, it's in the center circle, and that's it. So now we have an item that I want to play with. Why do I want to play with the item? Because I wanted, this is gonna be the this is gonna be the first item to make experiments about it. So I want to know if I do some transformations to it, it will do some things that we're going to need in order to make our thingy rotate. So let's see. What if I do what if I do a transform, and then I do a translate, and then this translate is going to be 50%, right? And then what if I do a rotation? It is rotating in its own axis. See? So I think what we're missing is the separation from this to the rest of the things. So to the rest of the things, that will be probably a Y translation. Translate shit. What if we do this like 50 and 50? Okay, so it is going away, but away where? Just top? Just from the top? And what if I do this? Okay, but what if I do this thing, and then I do this? It is still rotating in its own axis. So the item is 50%, 50%. This looks good. Absolute. Yes. This all looks good. But when we try to make some translation like translate Y, translate Y, and we do 50% and 50%. That's not even valid. Something I'm doing wrong. Okay, so Is this already doing that? Yeah, why would I have more than one argument here? So I need to know if this is going just getting away from the circle, or is this getting away from the top? You know what I'm saying? So in order to know that, we need to rotate. Okay. Okay. Left 50. Let's see if that's a problem. But 50. Up 50. Now I just changed it to another position. No. I think this can change. And the axis will be the same. Okay, something we learned is that we need the rotate first. Because this is rotating around, I don't know what. Is it the container? Like, by default takes the biggest parent, or by the way, this is a correction of this, so it stays in the center, and this is what separates the axis from the element. The thing that I have now is that it is using something random as its axis, and I think I can fix this by doing some like you're on 100 and then 100. Now you're gonna be, you will rotate around what? Okay. So the axis is defined on transform. So basically I can do a this until it kinda gets into the axis I want it. See, it is, I told you it was gonna be a little bit harder than we thought. Okay, so now we have it here, and now let's rotate it. It is being super weird. What about What about that? Why do I keep doing right? Writing right? Why? What's wrong with me? I mean, I know I'm stupid, but this stupid? Now it is rotating around our dot. And the reason for that was... The reason for that was the stupid right here. Putting a right here. So it was doing whatever. So now it is rotating around the center red circle because both share the same let's say like they basically both are in the middle. See? And that's why you rotate this and it's going to rotate in the kinda middle, because this is not a middle. This is this red center, this circle center right here is not middle. It's not even close to be a middle. I think more accurate will be like maybe if we do 30, no, 10, that looks better. Maybe we never needed this, we just needed this. But wait, the blue square is not changing, and that makes me nervous. Okay, so let's see. 50 50. So now it is kind of in the middle. Kinda. I have a ruler somewhere. I think in the web developer tools I have a ruler, and it gives us that this is what 120 184 and 184. It's pretty much in the middle, so I think it is in the middle. It is probably not in the middle when we think about it in the height, but I think we are getting close. I hope we're getting close. So now this is the separation between the axis and the element. So this should be working like this. Okay, so if I do anything here, it should be around this red dot. Okay, it is not exactly perfect, as you can see, but it is around the red dot, so we are in a good shape. Yeah, it is kind of following our rules, or kind of rules. Also, it is not exactly the most exact, as you can see. In this case, the axis moves a lot. It's kind of like orbiting and also moving the orbit. So yeah, it is not pretty exact, the stack that you're gonna have. So now that we know that we need this transform for each item, we can do it inside the component. Okay, I feel very tempted to remove all of the way that we had to get here, but let's see. So this is the magic stuff that's gonna give us the thing. So I'm gonna do an array. I'm gonna create an array from, you can create an array, if I remember correctly, just by doing let's do 6 elements, from 6, and fill with, no, you know what, we're gonna need the object logos, because it's gonna be an array of objects, and we're gonna need it for the CRC. Then the CRC, and maybe, I think that's the only thing we need. Actually, we can Google for some placeholder. Let's see, React icon. I just need the React icon. Okay, I want this. Is this really PNG? No, it's not. Now what you're doing? Okay, let's use this one. But this one has like yeah, white. No, I don't want white. I want something like, let's see. No. Let's try this. Copy link address. Okay. So we have the logos and the CRCs, and I'm gonna do this probably 6 times. Another CSR, same, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, so now we have 6 React icons that we can use in our iteration. Okay, it's gonna be here, the icon, so we can do an image CRC something we don't have yet, and we're going to iterate logos map logo, and then it's going to return the logo. Yes, there's going to be some math included here. I know you love math, some basic arithmetic stuff. So here we need the item Oh, you're great today, Alejandro. You're great today. Logo.crc, and of course I have an error. The error is because I am not closing something. So this is opening and closing, but okay, the CRC looks, the SRC, sorry, looks good. So it says we need a fragment because we broke this. So this opens, this opens and closes here, opens and closes here, opens, and the thing is this should be here inside, but it is still complaining. So what do we need? Oh, okay, we have a fragment right now already. Logos, it is doing a div, and it is showing the styles items. Okay, and then what's happening? Const return, the return is here. This is open and closing, 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 and we're open and closing right here. So where's the error? So this is the error. Where's the error? Is it because, oh my god, I didn't, is it because I didn't close the map function, dude? Come on. Okay, so we should be having a lot of React elements here, right? Like, this is not working because probably the course problems. Like if I go here, yeah, course doing its shit. No, wait, it's not the course. Is it the course? Okay, so this is carrying errors from God knows when. And the SRC, sorry, it's logo dot crc, EMG. I don't see any reason for this to be failing other than this being a bad link. Like literally just a bad link. How can it could be a bad link? Oh my god. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna copy the link address and check if because we have the Google link. Okay, we have the Google link, so we need to do this. If I could use AI, this will be super easy, but I need to show that I can do it without AI. So where are we? Okay, here. Boom. Boom. Okay, so that should be an image. Yes, it's an image. I don't care about the background right now. I have the image. Then remember I told you we're gonna do some math here. Let's see if I can remember it by just my huge memory. I'm gonna turn this into a normal return, okay? So return this. But I want, first of all, I want the logos to be a little bit further from the red dot, like transform. We remember that we have to use translate white, and I wanna do a, okay, so that will determine the basically the radius of our orbit. So I think 200 is pretty good. What I'm worried about now is that if I do the rotate, does it rotate? Yeah, it rotates around something. Okay, so let's continue, and then at the end we can do some adjustments in general. So we get the animation going and we can adjust everything. So translate, that's too little. What about this? This looks okay, let's do that. I am afraid that this is not going to work because we discovered that rotation needs to be before the translation. So what we're gonna do here is some math. Okay, so we have 360 degrees. right? We have 260 degrees, and in order to let's get the index. We can use the index now here. Obviously we need a key, but as we have the same thing in everywhere, it's not recommended. So we have the I for index. Let's call it index. And then we can do a const radius. The radius will be 360 divided by the index plus 1, because it starts with 0, and that should be it. Let's see what the console says. Radius. Let's see. The console says, yeah, it is 60, 70. Okay. So now we know. Remember that we need to rotate before we translate. Let's do here style, which takes an object of styles, and let's see if we can do a transform, and this will be rotate. Remember that it works only if you use rotate first. So rotate and radius. This is not the radius. It's a bad name. It's the position on circle. Position. I don't need to console log it anymore. So rotate position on circle, not percentage, just degrees, and translate. Why? We came across the number was that, right? That number was kind of like the one that we needed. Okay, so now we have a problem with transform, rotate, translate. What if we just rotate? What if we just translate? Okay, I need pixels, dude. Okay, we have something. I don't know how good they are, but they are pretty much bad positioned, but there has to be a reason for that. So 300 divided by so at some point there has to be some element with 0. Okay, so this is going to be the addition, I think. The addition. position. This is the addition for each of these elements. So the real position is going to be the index multiplied by the addition, and we can do a position here. Okay, now we have another problem. It is just taking what we have and multiplying it, and okay. I'm thinking of this in the wrong way. We need the logos length. The logos length. Yeah, just the logos length, and there we go. We have the same space for every single element on the screen. Now I want to play with these variables. I want to play with the circle, the red dot. Let's see what happens if we do this. Yeah, we can do that. We can do also that. We can do also that. Okay. So it can be 45 by 45. I know it is not the center, but it is close. Also, I don't know what's happening with the translation. Left, top. So this can be 45 by 45. Well, at the end of the day, they are going to be moving. So hopefully we can specify the right animation. So here's the thing. This is going to be a little harder because we need to create a we can probably do it by just do a set timeout and it adds to this rotation and see where that leaves us. See what I'm saying? Like saying that position, that's the initial position. That's the initial position. But that's the initial position. But so we need them to we need them to move without stopping and never stopping. So we can do use position set position. By the way, I'm experimenting here. The best way is to use CSS, but the thing with CSS is that we will need to, at some point, it will need to be restarted. Let's see. Okay, so we have the position. which is 0. Okay, this is throwing me an error because I'm not defining it. So let's see that the degree is plus position, and we do a use effect that is going to create a const interval equals to use ref null, and we're going to interval equals to set interval every, I don't know, like 300 milliseconds. You're gonna set position to prep position prep plus, let's do 10. No, let's do, yeah, let's do 10. So now we have an error. This has to be current. So now it spins, believe it or not, but it spins in a very weird way. It spins in a very, very weird way because it is multiplying here. I don't want it. I just want it once. Okay. What's wrong with this? Number is not assignable to null. Interesting. Well, we can declare it as an interval type, but I don't remember what's the type of an interval. I think it is interval, something like that. Set interval, or just interval. Yeah, there's a thing. There's a as interval. It's stopping the bleeding, but no, that's not the answer. Interval histogram, what the hell is that? No, it's definitely not that. But we can just do this. If it's asking for a number, let's just give it a number, so we don't have an error. So apparently there are two things. We need to do this more often. And move a little bit less and much more often. Okay, so now we have our circle. It took a long time. I didn't have that in my budget. But there's something happening with the axis of the rotation. But this is pretty functional right now. Actually, you can go here and just do a background I don't need you guy, and you can put here your image, just like mine. You see how I put my image here because I'm a egomaniac. And if you don't have a photo with a suit like that, I actually took this one in a wedding. But if you don't have it, there are a lot of tools in the web, in the chats. The chat GPT can give you a mm, you give it a photo of you, of yourself smiling like I'm doing here. Look at that guy, he looks super trustworthy. I want to learn from him. I want to hire him. You can do that and use there are a lot of tools for you to be placed on a suit, and like in that position, like I can program whatever I want, because I'm a senior and I don't know how to make things spin. Takes me hours. So now we can here take the URL. Sorry, it's a background image, and I think we can use a new URL and just like that put the image there. So this should be and we don't need you. Something happened here. The URL, is it really happening this, that I cannot use my own image because of the no, there it is. So what's missing? The image, background image. What else is needed here? I think it is. So it is. Oh no! The thing is, this is the circle that was in gray. This was the center circle, the red dot. So the background should be here actually. And I don't know why it didn't work, but this thing right here should have my background. Should have my background image. And then I think it is because of the position and we can do the attachment fixed, or I think it is for the cover. How do we do the cover fit? Just like, I think we can do this and then cover fit. No, said I think it needs a size and a position and a few other things. That's what the UI usually does for me. Background, position 0, background, I'll repeat, no repeat, and background size 100%. Can I do that? And there I am. And then we can add a color, background. Okay, so the color apparently is eating the image. How can I have a color and at the same time an image? What if I do an image and color. Yeah, there it is. So it is pretty it's not the same as I had it before. The other thing that we can do now that we have time is not rely on the not rely on the what's the word, and not rely on uh I forgot the word, not rely on React and the interval. We can do something like this. We can just take all of this, okay, that's fine, but I want to do something else. Okay, so the initial position is great. The initial position is great. All of that is great. What we can do is to create an animation here. If I remember correctly, you can create an animation by just doing a keyframes identifier, and I can do a spinner or rotate images, and then we declare the keyframes. For instance, in this case will be 0 transform rotate 0 not 0, no, that won't work. Oh yeah, no, that will work because I'm gonna apply it to the whole square. So I can go here and do a 100 transform rotate 360 degrees, and it should come to the same place as it started. And then you can take the thing that is going to be spinning. In this case is the center circle. Is it the center circle or the, yeah, it's the center circle. So we can do animate here, I think, animate name. The name is rotate. Let's give it 3 seconds, and the timing is like is easy, is in, is out. You know those Bezier, I don't know how to pronounce that, Bezier cards. That's for animation, so it looks smoother, not just a move. It has acceleration and position depends on the acceleration. So that's what this does. The delay, I don't need the delay. What I need is to be infinite. Okay, so it is not working because the name is rotate images. And now it is rotating. Okay, so now see how it is kind of like, it's kind of like moving weirdly. That's because the is in is out is doing its thing, so we need just a linear thing here, so it just looks like that. And yeah, in this case you will be placing your images here, and then you will have a wheel circling. And finally we did it. We can do some adjustments so it looks more centered, of course. But if you ask me if we have a tech stack rotating around us, I don't like it to be so perfect, like precise, like 100%. I like it more like this, and this is not an excuse. I like it more like this because it looks more like, okay, I know all of this, I know how to manage all of this. Not the languages follow me everywhere. No, I know all of this, and you can hire me. So yeah, that's the tutorial on how to get a wheelwright of your tech stack. I hope you didn't disappear because of my errors. The errors we had were crazy. I was using write as a attribute, as a CSS attribute, but right now we have it. I'm gonna post the I will upload this to my repo, but I think it's too small. I'm gonna post the files. No, you know what? I think I'm gonna publish it on my repo. But this is not like very repo proud to be, like, to be honest. Yeah, because I will use this, and then the body will have to be darker blue. Oh, this is something that SSS has. You can use dark and okay, no, I think that was something I dreamed. Background darken, yeah, darken, and then blue, and how dark you want it. That's too black. It takes percentage, so 90% black. Let's see, 30% black, more black. See, now it looks more reacty. Also, the circle, I think the size, I will try to make it like it fits perfectly. So like, I don't know, if I do this and this, how much it affects the, yeah, of course, 300 and 300. Okay, that looks better, but that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for the image position, 100%. Size, probably more than, okay, that's too much. 100, maybe 200, yeah. And then the position we can do, maybe we can do centering. See what I'm doing? See what I'm saying? You can personalize. So that's it for today. I hope you like it. Doing the wheel, which was a huge task apparently. That's what that's what has that's what life gave us as programmers. So yeah, subscribe, click on the like, comment, please comment, and see you in the next time.